Hello, good evening. I hope you're doing fine there, and then I'm also doing good here. So, today I want to talk about a condition that is so notorious in our facilities and all these clinics, and it's an emergency. This is postpartum hemorrhage or PPH. Now, by definition of PPH, simply refers to excessive bleeding from the genital tracts after birth. That is, yeah, until 6 weeks postpartum, amounting to 500 mils or more along the vaginal delivery, or 1,000 mils or more via the cesarean section, or any amount that can lead to deterioration of the maternal condition. Now we have two types. We have primary and secondary. Now primary, this is where there is excessive bleeding from third stage of labor within 24 hours after vaginal delivery. Now we have secondary PPH. It simply refers to excessive bleeding within 24 hours up to 6 weeks postpartum after vaginal delivery. Now, uh, we have several causes of PPH, but the four T's are the basic ones that really bring a nice presentation of its own. This is tissue, thromba, we have trauma, we have thrombin. So they're simply four. Now, according to the explanation of trauma, ulcerations or cervical tears or non-staged episiotomies, if there is no proper interventions, then that will lead to a trauma. There will be that bleeding. Now, if you go to tone, this is where now the placenta or the uterus is unable to contract properly. Uterus is unable to contract properly because of a few uh, issues, like when there is that high parity, when there is full bladder, when there is over distension of the uterus, yeah, retained placentas can lead to tone, yeah. Now, when we talk about tissue, retained placenta, when it is still not delivered within 30 minutes after birth, that basically it brings tissue, yeah. And tissue basically it severely brings a lot of bleeding because of DIC, disseminated intravascular coagulopathy, which maybe would come due to intrauterine fetal death, yeah, amniotic fluid embolisms, yeah, due to full bladder, things of that sort. We'll go to thrombin. Thrombin is another factor where there is coagulation failure, yeah. When there is coagulation failure of that sort, it simply means that uh, factors that hinder bleedings, when they're interfered with, the bleeding becomes now more. Now, what would bring this? Maybe due to previous SCAs that were done. If there's an history of a previous cesarean section, if there's an history of a placenta previa or retained placentas, yeah, it would also bring thrombin. Now, according to this PPH, even according to what we've just learned, Basically, you really have to know that PPH is an emergency. Yeah, it's a thing that you cannot manage alone. Now, primarily, when you want to manage PPH, you'd call for help. Yeah, after calling for help, you'll really ensure that the bladder is not full. Yeah, you really evacuate the urine from the bladder. You really check if the placenta is in or out. If it is in, then you'll have to deliver it. Yeah, you'll massage the uterus, expel the clots. Yeah, you'd inject oxytocin, IM, whichever number. You can start with 20. As you go, it will depend now with the bleeding that has taken place. Yeah, then you try to deliver the placenta through CCT, counter cord traction. You try to deliver it. If it is still not coming out, you'll now do it manually. You push in your hands and try to do a bimanual removal. You remove it. If it is still not coming out, then you'll still really have to uh, try to maneuver ways so you can remove it in the theater if it is still not coming out. Yeah, meanwhile you'd try to do GXM. Yeah, you group and cross match. You do full hemogram. You'd insert an IV line because this is somebody that is bleeding profusely. You may lose them if you don't act accordingly. Yeah, you'd give a prophylactic antibiotic to cover for infections such as sepsis because of the high instrumental usage. Yeah, so that is what you'll do. Another thing, you'd give IV fluids to this person. You alternate Ringer's lactate and normal saline, 3 liters in 24 hours. Yeah, this is somebody that is so much uh, she needs an intervention because they may go into hemorrhagic shock, and that is so bad. Yeah, so one thing that you really have to know is that PPH, it is an emergency that it collectively need uh, many colleagues to handle it. Another thing that you might know about PPH is that uh, before it takes place, you really have to know that it's the objective. Number one is doing a collaboration, uh, ensuring that you give antibiotic for prophylaxis, ensuring that you prevent maternal death. Yeah, because that is sincerely what you want to do. Now, there are several complications that may arise, and now that is where you come in with your management to prevent further complications. Complications like puerperal sepsis, complications like severe anemia, complications like DIC, disseminated intravascular coagulopathy, yeah, complications like maternal death, complications like a lot of them. Yeah, so that is going to be the end of my class today. Next time we'll talk about PPH. No, we are talking about PET next time. Yeah, so actually I thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. I basically urge all of you to support me so that I may do a better one next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.